Hi, ladies. We're hybrid today. So we have some fun friends. Lynette had to step out because someone's needing directions to get in here. So once a month, we always do a hybrid where in Colorado Springs, we all get together. So if any of you ever have people, you could always send it. I mean, we probably won't do it in December, but I'm sure we will again in January. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Getting
So
everybody.
you're in Colorado Springs.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I know. Welcome, everybody. I'm going to we're going to give it a couple minutes. I think we're still a minute early or whatever, because then the floodgates open up and it gets a little crazy.
Right. What a great group.
I know. It's been so fun.
I
Yeah.
happen to be in Rapid City, South Dakota today.
You are. That's what you said. Now, do you just go there and visit for a while?
Yes, I'll be here for 2 months.
That's awesome. Are you from that area?
No, my husband's working on a project here.
Oh, okay. I love that. Oh, here we go.
So are most of these directors visiting, or I mean, are most of these directors on here from Colorado Springs area or?
In person, yes. On here, no. We're all over. I mean,
Okay.
there
Hey,
are
Julie.
there are people coast to coast on this thing, consultants, directors, nationals.
Okay, everybody.
Anybody,
Okay.
yeah, this is for anybody, no matter what division, um, any part of Mary Kay can join. They've kind of just taken on a life of their own, to be honest.
So I could invite my unit members to
You can
participate.
always, yes. So if
Okay.
I will talk about that here in a minute. Let me let all these people, and I'll probably do it all at once whenever he kind of gets in, because I always try to do that in case somebody's new to them. There is a Facebook group too.
Okay.
I'm trying to get everybody in here. Make sure everybody's muted as we get in, because we want to make sure there's no echo from when you're talking, my sweet friend. Keep saying, I think these people are just having a hard time with their internet or something, maybe, because I keep bouncing right back up like they're trying to get in. I'm like, we're in, we're on, we're here. Okay, well, I'll keep doing that kind of back room stuff here, back office stuff. Okay, so if you're new to this group and this is your first Lunch and Learn, we have the honor and privilege of having my new friend Linda speak today. And there is a Facebook group. It's called Lunch and Learns, and it's Mary Kay Ash, has a picture of Mary Kay Ash, like when, I don't know, from the Plaza magazine. She's in a red dress, just so you kind of know. All of these are recorded. It usually takes later today or in the morning. I'll post anywhere that you found out about this. I'll post it everywhere. Um, Definitely in that Facebook group. But if you were, I don't know, part of a Voxer group that I'm happen to be part of, or any other group that I've posted on, and that's where you saw it, the recording will be there. I only put it in the places I'm part of because that started getting a little crazy. So we did create a Facebook group, but it goes on YouTube. So if you have friends or other people in the Mary Kay world, you're welcome to invite anybody every Thursday. In December, we only have a couple just because, the holiday. But we love having as many people. And again, from brand new consultant all the way to nationals, I know some people will take this and record it and the recording and have it translated for their women in other countries. So, Linda, it's really just a true go give thing, because everybody in Mary Kay, no matter what division, where they live, no matter what, can be part of these lunch and learns. And I want to thank you all for making it so successful and taking your time to spread the word out. Because I feel like we all need a midweek pick me up, don't we? And I don't care if we all trained on the same subject. I think we would all learn something new over and over. And so I love this. And Linda, so that's why I told you it's a true go give heart thing, because I know I just started doing this a few years back, and then it kind of started booming, and now it's kind of taken on a life of its own. And so I just deeply appreciate your time, and like that, you're not even in your own normal house and all things. You're even traveling and differently somewhere else and you're doing it. So thank you all for being part of this. And Linda, I don't ever do much more introduction than that, in case part of your story is part of what you're training on. So I always want to leave that open, but share anything you're willing to share. Again, I can't wait to get to hear from you, because you've come so highly recommended. And so you have some really big fans out in the Mary Kay world. And so thank you for all that you've done. I know Mary Kay would be so amazed and proud of you for what you've done with her, carrying on her legacy in this business. So I'm going to mute. Don't worry if you have people getting in. I'll still be doing that, letting them in.
All right. Very good. Well, my goodness, Jen, I was just so touched when I got your message, because you call me your new friend, and it's like, I know we've probably met somewhere before, but I'm not sure where. But
Yes.
you know, when you're a Mary Kay senior sales director and you've moved 12 times in the last 20 years, you do have friends all over the country. And that's one of the beautiful things I love about Mary Kay. I've been with the company 44 years. And when I joined, I was planted in one place and I didn't think I would ever leave there. And then midway through my career, my husband at that time contracted cancer and passed away. So I have done Mary Kay as a mom of little children, young children, and a blended family. And then I've done Mary Kay as a widow, and I've done Mary Kay as a woman, single woman falling in love again later in life. And then I remarried. And now, because I married a guy that's in the construction industry, he takes positions throughout the country. And so as a result of that, we've been able to move 12 times in the last 20 years. And to me, that was an unexpected blessing in Mary Kay, because I never had to give up any seniority. As a matter of fact, it has helped my business. But I did start in 1979 while I was still in college, and I really didn't wear makeup. Many of us that started in 1979 were from that flower child kind of background. But we were looking for a way to make extra money and do it on our own time and have freedom and flexibility and all of those kinds of things. So I said, well, I'll give it a try. I've blown $100 on crazier things than this. And it certainly has turned into way more than I ever expected. I was also privileged to be one of 200 directors that went to the Philippines in the year 2000 to open that country for Mary Kay. And what a life-changing experience that was for me. The name of my the name of my unit is the Rowsey Radiant Hearts Infused with Boldness. And we've been a unit since 1980. And we've gone through lots of exciting transitions during that time. I just picked up my 23rd career car with Mary Kay, the new 2024 XT5. And oh my gosh, it never gets old. It's my 13th pink Cadillac. And let's see, Star Consultant, about 115 times, National Court of Sales 8 times. I was really honored to be the first ever virtual Miss Go Give, annual Go Give for the Sapphire division. That was the year we didn't have seminar. And so that announcement came while I was sitting in my living room, and I had consultants there with me popping confetti, and I'm still finding pieces of confetti in my house. It's just, I think, well, every time I find a little piece of that sparkly confetti, somebody's saying a prayer for me. That's just, it's like a neat remembrance of that. Let's see. I have one beautiful offspring director. Her name is Christina Loftus. She's in Port St. Lucie, Florida. And as I said, I'm married to Ken. He's a quality control manager for major construction, commercial construction. And so he gets sent on assignments and every couple of years relocates. So right now we are in South Dakota. We haven't completely relocated here, but our home is actually in Edgewater, Florida. But I'm coming up here several months at a time because it's a long trip. But the beauty of it is I can bring my business with me wherever I go. And on the way up here, I actually met a young lady, and we're going to be talking about her joining my team. So, you would think after 44 years of doing something, you might get tired of it or you might get bored with it. But Mary Kay is not ever boring. And you never run out of new and exciting ways to do it. So, I'm going to look and see in the chat here if anybody has any specific questions, but I've partnered with a director in Florida. Her name is Christy Rowsey. If you haven't heard of her yet, you'll be hearing of her soon. She's a wonderful, exciting, dynamic director, and she's got great ideas for putting Central Florida on the map. And so I take my years of experience and we combine it together with her years of enthusiasm, and we're making some exciting things happen. So I thought today I would just share with you some of my notes from a recent fall advance that we did in Altamont Springs, Florida. And I took the word pink because I think everybody should think pink, right? I'm looking here, Francis, I'm seeing you're smiling and nodding. Audie, I see you smiling and nodding. That really helps whenever you're the speaker, because you think, okay, there are real people out there and somebody is watching and listening. There's Lynn Burns. Okay, it really helps a lot. And so what I did was I took the word pink and I thought, this is kind of how I'm going to encapsulate my basic philosophies of Mary Kay and what keeps me going after 44 years. And not, I mean, I don't even think about retiring or slowing down or holding back, or it's just, you know, this is what gives me energy. Look at that beautiful smile, Miriam Monroe. Wow. Yay, I like it. Okay, so pink, the word pink, the P stands for powerful purpose. And my most powerful purpose at this stage of my Mary Kay career is to continue to pass on the legacy of Mary Kay Ash. Fortunately for me, which I did not even fully appreciate it at the time, but I got to be trained by Mary Kay. Oh my goodness. And at the time, you know, she was still working in the field and doing all kinds of training at DIQ week. And my national sales director at that time was none other than the incredible Cheryl Warfield, Inner Circle National Sales Director Cheryl Warfield. And I firmly believe Cheryl was one of Mary Kay's favorites, even though Mary Kay said she didn't pick favorites. I think Cheryl was a favorite because we got to do neat things with Mary Kay when we went to Dallas that I don't think a lot of other people got to do. So I got to be up close and personal with Mary Kay. And one of my most favorite Mary Kay memories, I was really even a brand new consultant. So this would have been at the very beginning of 1980. My little girl was 7 years old, and I was tiptoeing into the Mary Kay world. And she came out of her bedroom one night and she had taken a page out of a coloring book of a rocket. And she had colored it pink, and she had gone into my office and gotten one of my bags that I used for delivering products. And she traced the Mary Kay logo onto this rocket. And she brought it out and presented it to me while we were having like a family barbecue. And she said, "Here, mommy, this is for when you start going to the moon to do facials." And my first instinct was, oh dear, she thinks I'm gone all the time and she thinks I'm going to be going to the moon. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh dear, mommy guilt thing. And then my next thought was, no, Mary Kay is going to pay for you to go to college. Mary Kay is going to pay for your dance lessons. Mary Kay is going to pay for your karate lessons. You know, there were no, if she decided there was something she wanted to try, we had the extra money now to pay for those things. And so that powerful purpose. So I took that picture of that pink rocket and I mailed it into the company. I thought somebody out in Dallas is going to get a kick out of this with my little story, right? Never, ever imagined it would be Mary Kay Ash. So a few weeks after I mailed it in, a letter came addressed to my daughter. And I couldn't wait for her to get home and get off the bus and open it up, and out dropped a little autographed picture of Mary Kay herself and a beautifully written letter to my daughter saying, perhaps one day we will go to the moon to do Mary Kay, but in the meantime, your mom is working to make a better life for you and your family, and I hope you'll do everything you can to help her. And I was like, who takes the time, what major corporate executive takes the time to write a response letter to a 7-year-old child? What? I like this lady. That was my reaction. I like her. Well, a couple of months later, someone in Florida had broken a company record. And so back then, when somebody broke a company record, Mary Kay scheduled a guest event in their city. Well, she had not been to Florida, and everybody that knew about Mary Kay was converging on Clearwater, Florida. And I got there, and if you had been a star consultant 2 consecutive quarters, you got to have your picture taken with Mary Kay. Well, I was smart enough to be a star consultant when I started, and then I was selling the product, so I was a star consultant another time. So back then they called us the Golden Girls. And we could wear this yellow polyester outfit. I never got that because I didn't like yellow. And I didn't like polyester. I was a natural woman, right? But I did go to that event, and as I was standing in line to have my picture taken with Mary Kay, it was my turn. I stepped up next to her. She was very petite. Well, my friend who was taking the picture with her little disposable camera, the camera jammed. And so I had these seconds with Mary Kay, and I said, "Oh, Mary Kay, do you remember getting a picture of a pink rocket?" I'm sure I sounded really starstruck. And she looked me in the eye with her beautiful, deep blue eyes, and she said, "Oh, tell Donna I said hi." She remembered my daughter's name. I was just like floored. I said, "Okay, I will," and I was like, oh, this is so exciting. Oh my gosh. So one of the first things I learned that gave me purpose was, I learned it straight from Mary Kay, is appreciate people enough to remember their children's names and call them by name and be, she was just so very gracious. Here she was standing here for an hour taking pictures with people, and I never even got to see that picture. I don't know if that picture ever really got taken or what, but what I learned in that few seconds with Mary Kay was to treat people, make them feel important. Remembering someone's child's name definitely made me feel important. And then the last time I was in the presence of Mary Kay, thanks to Cheryl, we got to have our picture taken with her at a special event in December. And she looked at me and she said, "Hello, dear, how are you?" And I said, "Oh, Mary Kay, I'm wonderful." And she said, "Dear, you really are." Just like that. And I thought, oh, here I go, feeling important again. Okay. So if I can do anything, my purpose is to pass that kind of feeling on to other people that Mary Kay gave to me. There's a saying that says, people don't care how important you are. How important, well, I don't remember the saying now, but they love the way they feel after they leave you. They don't care so much about what you say, but how they feel after you've left them. So having a powerful purpose. And of course, Mary Kay was never shy about her purpose in putting God first, and your family second, and your business third. And I had a meeting with my unit members a week before last, and I said, "Tell me one thing that you are the most grateful for." And I was thinking they were going to say, "Oh, the extra money I make with Mary Kay, or the prizes that I get, the beautiful jewelry that you get from Mary Kay, or the free cars, or any of those kind of things." Not one of my people said anything about anything materialistic. They all said, "I love being with like-minded women. I love being with godly women who lift each other up and pray for each other." It was all focused around the core values that we have in Mary Kay. Put God first your family second, and your business third. The week that I joined Mary Kay, I joined on a Thursday night. So Thursday's a great day for me and Mary Kay. And that following Sunday night, they had aired the segment on 60 Minutes for the very first time. Have any of you ever seen that segment? It's rerun, and you can look it up on YouTube, I think. It's the 60 Minutes Mary Kay episode. And I thought, oh my goodness, 60 Minutes, that's like an expose program. And I thought, I better watch this. I joined on Thursday, and oh my gosh, maybe I have time to stop that check if it's a bad deal. And I watched that night, and when the guy, I think his name was Morley Safer, when he looked at Mary Kay and he said, now, Mary Kay, don't you think you're using God? And she looked at him, and she caught her composure, and she said, no, I rather think he's using me. And I thought, oh, I made the best decision in my life right here to join this company, because here's a person that's going to let God use her. And that was my prayer because of a situation in my childhood. I thought, if I could just ever find my purpose in life, I would be so happy. And this person was giving me the opportunity to have a powerful purpose and move forward. So the P stands for powerful purpose. And the I in pink stands for inspiration with sometimes irritation. How many of you have ever had some irritation in your Mary Kay business? Sometimes they say that's the sandpaper rubbing off the rough edges and the things that you don't need to have in your life anymore. So inspiration, we can find inspiration at almost every turn. Just the fact that Jen reached out to me and invited me to be one of your speakers. I've seen the announcements for this before. I did not realize it was open to everybody. So now the word is going to get out, and oh boy, I have quite a big network of people too. So I can't wait to share that information with them. But inspiration is available at every turn. And if you don't know what to be inspired about, get Mary Kay's book back out and start reading it again. You can't help but almost on every page find some inspiration. As a matter of fact, past weekend, I was with my daughter. That little 7-year-old is now a grown woman who's a nurse practitioner who uses Mary Kay principles in her practice all the time. She considers Mary Kay one of her grandmothers. She wrote to Mary Kay frequently throughout her childhood, and Mary Kay always answered her letters. Imagine, corporate executive of a multi-million-dollar company at that time, now a multi-billion-dollar company. How do you feel about being part of the #1 skincare and color cosmetics company in the world? Yay! And you are the reason we are that. It's because of each and every one of us. What we're doing brings the company to that level. They can't do it by themselves. They can't do it just by the building out in Dallas. It's each and every one of us and what we're doing that has brought our company to the #1 best-selling brand of skincare and color cosmetics in the world. And it's verified by that Euromonitor company. I was looking at another magazine, and that Euromonitor company, they monitor all kinds of statistics like that. So that's a big deal. That's a big, big deal. And you can put your shoulders back and hold your head up high that you are part of that. I often tell my unit members, we're one of the top 100 units in Mary Kay. And if they're one of my top 25 consultants, I say, you're a top 25 consultant in a top 100 unit in the #1 best-selling company, multi-billion-dollar company in the world. Be proud of yourself. Be proud of what you do. But sometimes people come along and they give you a little irritation, don't they? Mary what? Oh, is that still around? My grandmother used to use that. You know, they say little irritating things. Like, I was stopped at a rest stop on my way up here, and this man pulls up, and I'm thinking, oh, he's going to ask me for my card, right? He saw my pink car. He said, I saw you have a pink car. Why isn't your dog pink? I was like, have a nice day. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? People have different perceptions of what they think Mary Kay is all about, but it is up to us. One of my biggest pet peeves is when somebody says, oh, is that company still around? Not only are we still around, we're the #1 best-selling brand. You know, I mean, I hope you have that memorized and that it just falls right off the tip of your tongue anytime anyone is asking you or talking to you about it. What's another thing that can irritate us? When we book an appointment with somebody and they don't call you back, or you add a new team member and then all of a sudden they have this thing called ghosting. I didn't know what that was, but now I do, right? We all have it. That's the beauty of this business is a person cannot rise to the position of directorship without encountering all those kinds of things. Mary Kay was so smart to factor that in, that they don't just go out and hire somebody to be directors. In order to become a director, you have to go through all of those same things, all of those same emotions, all of those same objections, all of those same victories. You know, but the difference between someone who rises to the position of directorship or national sales directorship is the number of people that they've seen. It doesn't mean they never got any objections or no's or people who quit or anything like that. It just means they've seen more people and they've stuck with it. So that brings me to the N in pink. The N in pink stands for nonstop. And no matter what. As you heard me say at the very beginning, I have done Mary Kay as a married person with a blended family. I've done Mary Kay as a person nursing an ill spouse. I've done Mary Kay as a widow. You know, after I became a widow, I had a lot of people in my community who came to me, like people, you know, tradespeople that I did business with, my insurance agent for one, who said, what are you going to do now? And I said, about what? How are you going to live? Quite nicely, thank you. My standard of living will not be changed because my husband passed away. Mary Kay is the main core of our income. And so I was able to support myself as a single woman for several years and pay off a lot of medical debt that we incurred during his illness. So, you know, who do you know out there that might be struggling with some things like that? And we hesitate to ask them. We hesitate to invite them to be a part of Mary Kay because we don't know whether they would be able to do it or not. That's your answer right there. You don't know whether they will be able to do it or not. Give them the chance. It's entirely up to them. And you know, Mary Kay taught me this lesson herself, because when I went for DIQ week, back then you went for DIQ week before you actually started director qualification. You had to be that committed that you would spend a week in Dallas before you went into qualification. And Mary Kay and Richard, her son Richard, were part of our training 2 days that we were there. Imagine that. And I was sitting in the front row. Cheryl always told us to be front row people. And Mary Kay said, does anyone have any questions? And I said, here I am. I have a very important question. My question is, what do you do when people quit on you? Of course, Mary Kay had people quit on her. Many, many, many people, and some did it in very flamboyant ways and not very nice ways. But she looked at me and she said, okay, here's what I want you to think about. She said, if you have someone who joined your team and they become extremely successful, are you going to take credit for all of their success? Oh no, Mary Kay, they did that themselves. She said, okay, it's the same answer if they choose not to become successful. They did it themselves. You can give them guidance, you can give them encouragement, but you can't do it for them. So you can't take credit for their success, nor can you take credit for their failure. Well, that was like lifting a big burden off my shoulders, because I thought to myself, okay, if I don't have to be responsible for their success or their failure, then I can be more free to offer it to everyone. Right? Okay, let's see. I'm just checking the notes over here, make sure I'm not missing a question that somebody might have. All right, so nonstop, no matter what, I kept my business going, and thanks to beautiful, wonderful Go Give directors in my national area and outside of my national area, while I was nursing my sick husband, they would come and do my meetings for me. And I have been able to return that favor for other people as well. And, you know, the Go Give spirit in Mary Kay is alive and well. And we are one of the companies that encourages, you know, that one of the highest honors in Mary Kay is to be receiving either a monthly Go Give award, a unit Go Give award, or the annual Go Give award. And they are just, you know, they recognize that innate ability within women to be giving and loving and caring about each other. And so I think women who have those characteristics are drawn to Mary Kay to start with. Don't you? Yeah, I think so. And when you find that it is the case in Mary Kay, it makes you want to be here forever. You just feel like you've found your spot. I felt like Mary Kay was Girl Scouts for grown-ups, because I get badges, you know, I get these badges, and I get, you know, of course, these ones are all made out of diamonds, but, you know, different level of badges, but you get to work for badges, and you get to, you know, have a good feeling of sisterhood and camaraderie, and wherever you go, you know you belong. So the K in my word pink stands for kindred spirits. You do find many women who are like-minded and who want more for their family. They want more for their life. They want more for themselves. You know, for me, one of the biggest unexpected blessings that came out of my starter kit was the confidence level that I had. In my previous marriage to, you know, I've been married 3 times. So my first marriage was a tough one. And it did a lot to my self-esteem. And I had to fight back through that. And thank goodness Mary Kay came along at the beginning, early stages of my second marriage. And it was allowing me to become the very best person that God intended me to be from the very, very beginning. And so this can be, you know, we used to always say it's a self-improvement course that we get paid to take. And you get paid quite well when you do a good job. And you know, the thing about it is it's not a mystery how we get paid in Mary Kay. It's very clearly defined, and you can exercise whichever avenues of income appeal to you the most. You can focus on sales. If you love selling the product, and this is the time of year when we really do get excited about selling the products, don't we? So many creative ideas and so many people wanting to look their best during this time when they're going to be seeing people that they don't normally see any other time of the year. So selling is a very viable avenue of income in Mary Kay. But team building is also a very viable avenue of income. And when you team build, of course, you're building relationships for life. I love looking at my unit roster and, 44 years in the company and 43 years as a director. I have a lot of people who've been with me for decades. I've watched their children grow up. I've been a part of their lives, of the children growing up. And I remember Mary Kay was part of my daughter's life as she was growing up. And so that's part of our responsibility now, is to make sure that we are the Mary Kay that some people will get to see and meet and get to know what the company is really founded on and what the company is based on. So I'm just wondering, does anybody have a thought or a question that something I said triggered for you and you think, oh, well, what about this, Linda? Jen, what do you think?
Well, I loved it. I love hearing that you got to spend all that time with Mary Kay and just some of that, yeah, legacy we get to learn about, and some of her responses, I think, are things that people need to know, why we're actually here. Yes, we can make money. Yes, we can change lives, but what did Mary Kay want us to do with it? And I think we always have to remind ourselves of that when you're getting frustrated or uninspired or whatever, just to keep that in mind, that this is bigger than us.
That is for sure. And I will tell you that when my husband was very sick, and somehow, I know that they have what they call a care line, and I'm sure Cheryl put my name in there or whatever.
Yeah.
I was getting calls from, at least once a week, I would get a call from one of the corporate executives checking on me. And then Mary Kay herself sent me this beautiful little, it was a little card and a cross that's called The Cross in My Pocket. And she had dictated. By that time, she really wasn't able to talk, but she was able to dictate things. And she dictated a note and told us that she was praying for him.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my gosh, with everything she's been through herself, plus the fact that she is who she is, one of the most influential women of the 20th century. Did you know she had that award? One of the most influential women of the 20th century. That's a big deal. And she took time to send me a note and let me know she was praying for my husband. What? Okay. So remembering that we can, we never should fall prey to the idea that we're too busy. Of
Absolutely.
course, Mary Kay used to have us get up 5 o'clock in the morning so we could get those things done that you need to do when you have no distractions. But it's if we can perpetuate her philosophies and her spirit, we are going to be making the world a better place for sure.
We sure are. Real quick, does anybody else have any other questions or comments or anything they want to share with Linda before we go today? Linda, you are incredible. I love that. I love your story. I love your walk in this company. And thank you for just being honest and genuine and sharing your heart with us today.
I wasn't sure how long I was supposed to talk. So
you did amazing. It was perfect. And I don't know. I just feel like sometimes God makes that work out. Sometimes we all have the right person on here and hear the right thing at the right time. And you were definitely that today, my friend. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. And I'll look forward to seeing you. Now, which seminar or which leadership will you be going to?
Emerald. I'm in Emerald division.
Emerald. Okay. I think we're in opposite times then.
What are you?
Sapphire?
Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe we'll cross.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be watching for you for sure.
It would be crazy, but I would love us all to be there at one time.
They did that a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably why they didn't do it again. They probably thought, whoo, that's too much of you ladies at one time. We're gonna break that up. Oh my gosh. Did anybody else have anything they wanted to ask or say? Sorry, I don't want to miss anyone. And if you don't know, you're muted. Sorry, I muted you. You'll have to unmute. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for joining in. Give me about 24 hours and we get that. We do get that out on YouTube. So if you don't like social media, you'll have it that way. And you can say hi to all my friends, all my in-person friends.
Hi.
We've been
Yay.
doing this. It's fun. Lynette always gets this little place at our country club and we get to be in person. So we get to do a little hybrid, which makes it a little bit more fun, at least once a month. So if y'all have anybody in Colorado Springs area, they can always join us if they want to.
Absolutely.
More the merrier. Well, I hope you all have an amazing Thursday. Remember, no lunch and learn next week because of Thanksgiving, but then we'll be back the following week. Thank you, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, checks are good. Yeah.